Welcome to the shop, everybody, and Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates. I'm excited for this drop. I've been looking forward to this Christmas batch for a little while because I knew there's going to be some special stuff in there. And so hopefully you guys are looking forward to that as well. And hopefully my equipment here is working. I had some malfunctions, so hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. We have 4 knives coming today. And one of them, I'll show you the first one, which is a special one to me. This is a native flipper, and the cool thing about it is this Damascus. This is Damascus that I actually forged, if you can believe it or not. This isn't the first piece. I have another piece that will be coming up. So this is, I don't know how the best way to put it, and boy, it is just not wanting to focus for me today. But this is essentially Devin Thomas Damascus. Let's see if it will focus on that blade. But I forged all of it with my own hands. Used his equipment, obviously, because we were in his shop. And you can see backspacer all the way through, floating backspacer with that. Westinghouse. Got some green accents, green liners. Kind of hard to tell on this camera. And then that vintage green shield. There's some good stuff. Let's see if I can get a little better lighting on this guy. There we go. That's going to be nice. So maybe you can see that Damascus a little bit, or maybe not. I want to focus on the wall behind me and not on the knife in my hand. You kind of see that. Oh, there we go. We got focus for like a second. It's really cool. I did a deep etch on it. Turned out pretty slick. Next one I've got is the Santa hat. Yeah, that's a good idea. I used to have a Santa hat. My problem is I have a big fat head, so I can't ever wear anything. Next one up is this Wicked Lannies. So some hand rubbed ABL. And to clarify, this is not Carbo quartz, this is camel quartz. So camel quartz is made by camel carbon. But I don't know if you saw the post. If you've seen the post in my Facebook group, someone posted this side by side, and man, it's tough to tell. So this one has, these are solder bolsters. Oftentimes I don't do integral on stainless. I like that little extra hands-on old school building technique, but you won't be able to tell it by looking at it. Difference, because it all looks like one piece, everything there. Double flutes, different sizes, and I just cut my finger, of course. Look at this. Look, you can see it. I just did it. So there's the Wicked Lannies making me bleed. A little love tap. Next one up is Tengu OS front flipper. This is some of the same green that's in the shield on that native, that vintage green. And what I love about it, if it'll let me focus, yeah, there we go. It's got that, it's almost like a digital matrix pattern on there when you round it over. It's pretty killer. So this one has kind of a brass gold screws. There's a front flipper, but I try and make it so you can do it with your finger. And then of course it's still nice and drop shutty. And the last one, as I wipe my blood off, is this Arashi. This is blackened titanium. These are integral, and it's screwed together just to let that stag really shine. You can see that that's some pretty gnarly stag, but I try and keep it, you can see on these, I try not to make it too fat. And here's that backside, just as good. Pretty awesome stuff. The thing that's cool about this design is it has what's called flush joints. So meaning right here, sometimes you have that little kick stick up and you got a little sharp edge. On this pattern, you do not have that on either blade. You can see it clears right there too. So there's nothing to snag when it's closed, when you're opening one blade. And then you can see it all just clears in there. to make a nice, neat little package. You got a spot right here. You can get your fingernail in there and grab it. And then on this side, the front end of that long pull, you can pull it open that way. So those are the 4 that we've got. And I hope you're all excited as I am for those. They're pretty fun ones, and ones I took some time on. Really, I mean, not that I'm not taking time on all my other ones, but really wanted to make these ones extra special. So let's take a look here at our lists. I put these in order. So the first one will be that native, and we have a total of 215. That we're going to put in here. So what I'll do is I will draw a winner and an alternate just as a backup, and I'll do that for each one. Then I will reach out to everyone right up front and get responses. So without any further ado, we got to put number 2 here because the first one is not there. Let's generate number 20 right at the top. How about that? I don't know if any of you guys have ever noticed this. My computer in my shop is a PC because I have to run AutoCAD. My normal computer inside is a Mac. And I have not switched the scrolling functions because I think that they're default opposite. It's terrible. I show my age a little bit when it comes to technology. Sometimes I try though. So our winner on this one is Carrie Donaldson. Carrie, you got this one. Let's get an alternate in there. 117 down on the bottom. Nick Seinfeld, you got my alternate on this guy. And I'm going to sort these as we go so that we have our designated winners. Next one we're going to do is the Wicked Lannies. This is the one that came in with the next amount. 208 is where we are with that, so I'm going to recycle this. Resubmit the form. That is interesting. Random.org has changed their systems. Apparently they don't like to let's try it this way. There we go. That's a little better. Man, just making it complicated here, random generator. Okay, 208. Let's generate this guy. Number 90, right in the middle there. Dan Hawkins, you've got the first one. And 90, oh, right there by it, 93. Nolan, you've got the alternate. Goodness gracious. So Dan Hawkins has got the first choice. No one's got alternate choice there. Next one up is the Arashi. And on this one we have, it was surprising to see because it's very different crowds. It's really interesting because I'll see very different names on the list for like the Arashi and the Wicked Lannies versus the Tengu and the Native. Different crowds, although I have seen Harry is like the last one to get in on all of them, apparently, which is good. That's awesome. So we're at 204 on this one, and we're going to try this the different way this time. There we go. 2 and 204. And let's generate this one, 44. Creep it back up to the top. Jimmy, you have got my number 1. I will figure out what Jimmy that is because there are quite a few. And let's do an alternate. It's 23. Wow, Carrie. Okay, so I did put a rule in there. Chris Winter texted me and said, we'll make this the Chris Winter rule. We're going to call this the Chris Winter rule. If you've been drawn on one, you cannot be drawn on another. So, Carrie, even though it's an alternate, I'm going to redraw. 190, here we go. Right down on the bottom. JB, you've got my alternate. Goodness gracious. My mouse is not my friend. So Jimmy, we'll determine the last name in a little bit. And it is my first choice on this one, and then JV's got second. Last one is the Tengu. And hopefully you guys are okay with this. Hey Rick, looks like you're chiming in. Hopefully you guys are okay with how this is going. I've found that people have a very specific want, and even in messaging today, usually my Lotto days are inundated with messages, just people asking about how they can enter, if they can use more than one native number on one knife or whatever. And that's the reason that I'm doing this, because oftentimes you'll get in a Lotto and maybe there's only one that you want out of the 4 or 5 or whatever. And so I try and make it so that you can go for the one you want and feel confident that if you get drawn, that's your best option. And as you can see, it kind of disperses entries. It puts some people that may want a Tengu flipper in that list, but they might not want a Wicked Lanny's. So it kind of separates things out a little bit more. It gives people better chances, I think. It's a little bit more of a pain. I get it, but hopefully it's a little better chance. All right, let's do this last one. I'll quit rambling. 2 to 176. So 132 is our first. Vladimir, you are number 1. And let's get an alternate 34. Andy Hutchell, you've got my alternate on this one. So let's recap that really quick. So for the native flipper, Kerry Donaldson, you've got first choice on this one. Nick Seinfeld, you are my alternate on it. For the, this is the Wicked Lanny's. Yeah, Wicked Lanny's, Dan Hawkins, you've got first choice on this. Nolan Astron, you've got alternate choice. For the Arashi Jimmy, which I'm not sure which, you have first choice, and JV Gable, you got second or alternate choice. And then for the Tengu Vladimir, you have first choice, and Andy Hutchell, you got the alternate on this one. So congratulations to all of you. If you communicate through Facebook Messenger or Instagram, feel free to message me there. Otherwise, oftentimes people are putting down their cell phone numbers and I just text them. That seems to be pretty easy. I will reach out to all of you now to confirm that you want to grab it. And if you can be ready to go, we'll just get these cranking out pretty quick. I will be putting these in the mail tomorrow, and they will go out Priority Express to make sure that you get those before the weekend, before the holiday. So you've got your early Christmas present, or at least on-time Christmas present for these 4 knives. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. I see that everybody's chatting away over here. Good to see people joining in and watching along. I hope you all have a wonderful week. It's kind of a funny week for me. It's like a little bit of cramming things in and a little bit of decompressing at the same time to kind of get ready for the weekend. So I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, a wonderful weekend, and I probably will not see you until it's 2024. So I probably won't have any knives or anything else going on until then. Oh, I take that back. What am I thinking? Tomorrow, I was actually hoping to have this done today, but tomorrow I will do my, this one's going to be an extra special kind of a raffle / dogpile charity fundraiser knife. And it's going to be a sweet one. It will also include some of my own handmade Damascus, and it will be a special one. So watch for that. It's going to go to a good cause. I have, since we did that fundraiser for Dave Lang, who is kind of the guy that introduced me to knife making, I feel like raising money for an individual or a family that specifically needs it, and we can get them all the funds directly, is more effective, more bang for your buck. So we've picked out a family, actually a guy here in Utah who just was diagnosed with cancer this year, and it is not looking good. And he has a young family, and they are in great need. And I know that through all of your generosity, we can raise quite a bit to help them and support them as they go through this battle. So watch for that. Actually, tomorrow we'll be going through that through this week, and probably wrapping it up towards the end of the week so that we can present that to them, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it. So gather up your funds and your Christmas spirit to give a little bit this season, and we'll make a difference in some people's lives. But until then, have a great night, and we will talk to you again soon.